At the tender age of 10, Britney was already using her budding sexuality to attract an audience. But when the Star Search cameras turned on, Britney was transformed, pouring on a sexy southern charm.
This was trending today on the Twitters, and I wanted to show you how stuff has shifted in the last 25 years, or 30 possibly. So she was 10. How old is Britney Spears now? She's 38. Oh, she's in her 40s already. So this is back in the 90s. So people, this was making the rounds, and it's really creepy. I don't know. We'll talk. Let's play it and then we'll talk about it.
44.
She's 44. So this was 34 years ago. Okay. Which was 1996? Is that when this was? Okay, here we go.
At the tender age of 10, Britney was already using her budding sexuality to attract an audience.
First of all, the woman who's narrating this doesn't realize what she's saying. At the age of 10, she was already using her sexual. A 10-year-old girl doesn't have sexuality.
What is this from?
This is some kind of documentary.
It looks like she's going to be performing on Star Search if it's with.
Well, yeah, this video with the woman narrating is. I think it's from a documentary called Britney's Secret Childhood.
Boy, she was a real conniving mastermind. This.
Oh, she's a real. Oh, yeah.
Using her sexuality to lure Ed McMahon.
So watch this.
At the tender age of 10, Britney was already using her budding sexuality to attract an audience.
Did you see how they had to slow down, put it in slow motion to make it look like she was trying to move in some kind of sexy way instead of just being a performer who's dancing to music?
By the way, that's not sexy at all. Nothing about her outfit is sexy.
Nothing.
The dance was not sexy.
No, nothing.
Last time I saw this egregious was the History Channel Saddam Hussein documentary about what they do these documentaries about how we killed a bad man.
Yeah.
And they show even his daughter told a friend that she wanted to cut her school teacher's vagina out. And it cuts to her at a wedding, a girl this age, who's his daughter, and she's dancing like this, but they made it all slow motion so she'd look evil while they're doing it.
That's what this is. Watch that. Yeah.
At the tender age of 10, Britney was already using her budding sexuality to attract an audience. But when the Star Search cameras turned on, Britney was transformed. Pouring on a sexy southern charm, the judges had...
What on earth?
Pouring on a sexy southern charm. What are you... Does the woman...
A woman's doing this.
A woman
is doing this narration.
Do you even hear what you're saying?
Yeah, well, she's British, so
Wait, this is like the podcast Kurt's supposed to start called Do You Hear Yourself?
I know. I'm behind on starting it. It's
really behind.
Pile it up.
Never seen in a package so small.
She comes out in a very provocative gown with high heels and all of a sudden that little girl.
I mean,
nothing was provocative about the thing she had on.
Nothing provocative at all.
Who's this creep?
I don't know who this creep is.
Knocks you.
Maybe the people in the chat can tell us. It looks like Gene Simmons is doing this. He's doing an undercover show.
It looks like Joe Franklin from the Joe Franklin Show. He was also a creep.
But it does look like Gene Simmons is on Undercover Boss.
Oh, is this where you make the Kiss merchandise? Oh.
High heels, and all of a sudden that little girl knocks you right off your ass.
What? A 10-year-old girl who you are sexualizing knocks you off your ass? No, that means that you are a PDF file, or you have that.
They always blame the kid. They always think the kid is like they know what they're doing.
Oh, the kids know.
It's a kid.
Did you hear Quentin Tarantino? Oh, I should have played that for you.
Yeah, he sent it to me, and I had never heard it before. I have never heard it.
It was on Howard Stern, and he's saying that the girls who had who got assaulted by Roman Polanski, the 13-year-old girl, 13. Not only did they have sex, they had anal.
No, he drugged her. He caused
drugged her first.
Drugs her
first. And Quentin Tarantino says those 13-year-old party girls, they know what they're doing. 13-year-old party girl?
He said that they were dating. He said that Roman Polanski and the girl. No, she met him that day.
You mean
she just met him that day?
You mean she's a decade too young to go to a nightclub? You mean those kind of party girls? A decade too young. Anyway,
I've never heard of that in my life. Like it's a thing.
So let's get back to this.
There is nothing more interesting to adult men than the development of an adolescent female. We are hardwired to recognize that.
You heard the.
I don't know.
She's not adolescent. She's 10.
She's 10.
Where's
and she's not developed.
Oh, and look at this sexy boy next to her. He knows what he's doing. What is wrong with these people, dude?
She's not developed. Who is that guy? There's nothing more. Hang on. All right, let's just start it from the top. This is crazy.
At the tender age of 10, Britney was already using her budding sexuality to attract an audience. But when the Star Search cameras turned on, Britney was transformed. Pouring on a sexy southern charm the judges had never seen in a package so small.
She comes out in a very provocative gown with high heels, and all of a sudden that little girl knocks you right off your ass.
There is nothing more interesting to adult men than the development of an adolescent female. We are hardwired to recognize that.
I can think of a million things.
The thing this guy just said, for example.
Yeah, like that to me, that's more interesting than the development of an adolescent female child.
We got to get a clip of Gavin Newsom going. Interesting. Just really interesting.
That's really interesting. It's interesting. Yeah.
It's just interesting. It's just interesting. He said
it's just interesting. Can you put a mark in the Slack to get that on the soundboard? It's just interesting.
You know, also, what's interesting is that these men feel no embarrassment of what they're revealing.
So this is a different time. This is about 25 years before #MeToo.
Is that why I'm not giving Me Too credit for jack shit since CAA came up with that? But look at those glasses. That's the time of the Dahmer glasses. And I don't know what it is about that frame of glasses, but boy, they were going nuts back then.
I think Stephen King wears those kind of glasses.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You have the most adorable, pretty eyes. You have a boyfriend?
No, sir.
How about me?
There's a lot.
What? Why would you say that?
Oh, Ed McMahon's a very successful man.
Is that back? Is that back in the day, Kurt? Is that back in the day when old men said that kind of creepy stuff?
I've heard that's your little boy. Now I remember like little kids. I remember my church like, oh, she thinks you're her boyfriend. Like, it'd be a little girl. It wasn't me saying shit like that. There are people who said that, but what that is like. First of all, what is the sexy outfit here? This looks like something a little kid wears. Big frilly sleeves and a frilly dress.
Big bow, yeah, and tights. She has tights on, white tights.
And it's not like she's a grown woman dressed like that, which I guess would make it like dirty something. It's appropriate for her age, 10 years old, to dress like a girl. This is why I'm for burkas, Jimmy. That's how you protect him.
A lot of sexual energy that is oozing out of that little girl. She can't possibly manage that kind of sexuality. So as she grows up,
what in the hell are these people talking about? A 10-year-old
oozing out of her.
A 10-year-old girl's sexuality is oozing out. I mean, did she talk?
Who's that?
Is she talking about her in that video? So now, I mean, I'm going to give the most generous reading of this. Maybe she's talking about something else. Maybe she's not talking about her 10-year-old performance.
No, she's probably a handler. If I had to guess, because that's how
you're
they
going
talk.
to see this split between Britney, sexual Britney, and then there's Britney, and those.
So,
right on here, dude. The split, the beta sex kitten programming the CIA developed over the years. That's what that means. Do you know that's what that means? The split. So there's the forward-facing personality, the beta sex kitten alter, and they can keep torturing more into kids. They don't even need to do the torture no more. They can do it with electronics.
So now you know why she was messed up. We'll be right back with more of this story after a brief message from our sponsor. JP Morgan expects gold prices to surge to $6,300 per ounce by the end of 2026. This comes against a backdrop where gold has already moved into record territory, having surpassed $5,000 per ounce just this year. According to JP Morgan, this is more than just temporary market panic. They believe gold prices are being supported by a structural floor created by central banks and large institutional investors, as well as underlying macro pressures like geopolitical uncertainty and diversification away from paper assets. Even after the recent price pullbacks, JP Morgan says long-term momentum remains intact. And then there's silver. Silver continues to trade in triple digits, reflecting broader precious metals momentum. Many analysts now see silver pricing entering a repricing phase, with industrial demand and supply pressures driving interest. Silver's dual role, industrial use and monetary metal, makes its recent move noteworthy. There's a big reason institutions are talking about precious metals. If you want to learn more, Monetary Gold has a complimentary gold and silver guide. Visit jimmylovesgold.com or call 800-476-7790 to request their free guide. So this was trending on Grok. The resurfaced footage from her 1992 performance on the talent show includes judges and narrators using highly sexualized language, such as calls of provocative gown, sexy southern charm, prompting widespread outrage over how adults viewed the young performer. Posted on February 8th, it drew over 30,000 likes as people called out the predatory tone and connected it to Spears' later industry's pressures, including her conservatorship, which I guess it ended in 2021. I guess they had her in a conservatorship for 13 years. Because
she's an old MK asset. So when they said free Britney, they didn't understand what they were saying, but she is a slave and she's still under the control. All they do is switch up handlers. They get new guys in there that give her drugs. All these people have a handler, all of them. I can't remember the one for her, but there's only a few people in the industry that do all of it.
Did you read her 2023? I didn't know she had she detailed her early exploitation in her 2023 memoir. I didn't know that.
J.R. Sweet, he has a book called Mormon Monarch, and he talks about what they did to her at the old Grove. Not that there's probably still using the Grove for that, but yeah, no, she was programmed there. 1992, I was a kid, so that's why I wouldn't have noticed this. So I was only in 7th grade.
Here she is. I guess she's 17 in 1999. So where you go? You gone? Or it's got to go? Or it's got things happening. But let's watch this.
One subject we didn't discuss. Mm-hmm. What was that? Everyone's talking about it.
What?
Well, your breasts.
She's 17. Holy cow. Whoa.
You seem to get furious when a talk show host comes up with this subject. Okay, in general, what do you think about breast implants?
Whoa. A 17-year-old, she's asking her, whoa. Whoa. But this is over in Europe where everybody's so much more advanced. Aren't they? Kurt, did you see this? Did you see this, Kurt? Watch this.
One subject we didn't discuss. Mm-hmm. What was that? Everyone's talking about it.
What?
Well, your breasts.
My breasts.
You seem to get furious when a talk show host comes up with this subject. Okay, in general, what do you think about breast implants?
Where was this?
She was 17 years old. This was in England in Europe where everybody's so much more advanced. Because, they don't call them pedophiles over there. They call them judges, teachers, and chat show hosts.
Yeah, and pedophiles. They say pedo.
Rogue Kite says, these pervs say this like Britney wasn't given choreography and taught to perform in this way. This isn't natural. This is what a Hollywood creates. And every day, little kids watch it on their screens and imitate it because this is how people understand the world.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me give credit to dingback feminists that I've always attacked, because if it hadn't been for the recent times of doing this creepy ass shit to boys suddenly, a bunch of people probably would have never noticed how weird this is, because this was ubiquitous. I mean, I would have been in 7th grade. That hero Kid Rock has a whole song about how he likes a girl who's 14 or some crazy shit. Remember that? That's Kid Rock lyrics.
Oh, it was a lyric that a guest performer in one of his songs said.
Well, he also has a song called "I Am the Bull God." Here's a song. Remember how popular that was?
No, I don't.
Okay,
but,
that guy who was interviewing, his name is Ivo Nai, and he was 53 years old at the time that he was interviewing her.
Wow.
Well, that's what men are interested in. You would think World War II and submarines and shit.
Yeah.
But no.
But Kurt, thank God Britney's parents didn't have anything to do with any of this on any level. So they're off the hook. Isn't that nice?
Yep.
The world
just doing their best.
Yes, the world treats her like a product, and every other product comes with a warranty from the manufacturer. You put a broken appliance on the showroom floor, buyer beware. It's your own fault for buying it. But
yeah, well, if you put your kids in auditions and you put them on stage, congratulations on trafficking your children. That is what you did.
If only we could admit once and for all how insanely widespread it is for adults to sexualize little girls. It's everywhere in our culture, and yet we believe that sexual abuse is rare and unusual. So girls must be crazy, like Britney, like Virginia Giuffre, like so many girls.
Like Kanye.
Man,
like Kanye, too. They're doing it to all of them. All the Disney kids.
This is so disgusting, and yet it was accepted as perfectly normal. A decade before, these sick PDF files thought it was normal to put a 10-year-old Brooke Shields on the cover of Playboy. I remember that. I remember
Julian Dore, I brought it up.
I remember how is this okay? I was a kid when they did that. I don't know, in high school. And I remember thinking, is that okay?
Yeah. Well, the authorities back then, it's funny how much authority has degraded to the point where people are noticing the amount of, because I'd tell you the whole 80s and most of the 90s, none of it was okay. And all the things you might have remembered as being okay were probably not okay.
So these are, this is like
entertainment. Did you hear how they were talking about like framing, just the way they do about like Syria or Iraq, but about a child?
Framing.
Yes. That's what the magic is right there. That's Hollywood magic. It's that. Just hypnotizing a thing right. Or that guy who was Larry Nassar, who was assaulting, and he would do it right in front of their parents and pretend he was doing some kind of therapy.
Yeah.
Right in front of the parents in plain sight. That's how they do you. You're not going to look at a place you already thought was fine, right?
Wow. I can't. Wow.
Guess what? We found out George Bush the first ate a baby, and that's accepted as normal because people still give a shit about the Super Bowl, which is fixed, idiots. It's all fixed. The whole thing is fixed. They would never allow you. They hate chance and random elements. They hate it. The people that run gambling, they actually hate chance. They like it for you.
I'm just, I mean, I'm just hoping. I mean, I lived through that. I remember when they were taking upskirt photos of Britney getting out of a car.
I remember guys had shoe mirrors and they were taking videos of people in the mall. That became a trend for a little bit.
But I'm talking about her specifically. They did that. And then other internet shows would post them on their websites. Look at her. We got a naked picture of Britney up her skirt, and then people would post that.
South Park had that episode where they
made fun of the people the way they were treating Britney. They weren't making fun of Britney, right?
No.
Yeah, they were making fun of how the culture and how they treated her.
It was a human sacrifice, and they go, we have to sacrifice children for the corn to have a good corn harvest.
Yeah.
She's a human, and so they're making a joke, but a lot of jokes you'll notice have turned out to be like prophecies.
Yeah,
and true. And when you make the jokes, you're noticing something. So they noticed it. These are human sacrifices, just like the Aztecs. Queen for a day, king for a day, and then we sacrifice you. We still do it now. They've done it multiple times in front of you. But everybody goes, oh, what's with these actors and what's with these rich kids? And, they have it all, but they throw it. No, they were born and bred for this purpose, to hypnotize morons. And it works.
Come see me on tour. I'll be in Lansing, Milwaukee, Albuquerque, Houston, Dallas, Salt Lake City, Las Vegas. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. If you go anywhere else, you're going to pay more.